A new strain of Android malware is being distributed by an APT threat.
Hi Stan, understand you have a new story about a StealJob malware for us.
Yes, Karen. Actually, I was reviewing my feed of threat intelligence from different sources, and this one from Alien Vault kind of stuck out at me. There's this APT group targeting Southeast Asian kind of targets in Pakistan. And so one of the things that this company, Apache Sky Threat Intelligence, has discovered is there's this variant of malware. It's for Android phones. The way you download it is not through like a Play Store. You get it because maybe somebody phished you or tricked you into installing it. You install this malware, and it's basic spyware. It can do lots of different things. But the unique thing about it, like a lot of APT malware, it's specifically targeted towards the types of people that would be most likely to download it. So as the story goes, I guess Kashmir province is a disputed region between Pakistan and India, and there's a lot of conflict there, a lot of propaganda. So the app is actually themed towards a news site, in that region.
They were targeting pretty sophisticated socio-political ways to make sure that they got people to be exploited by their malware.
Now, for me personally, I'm always interested in the indicators. So when I read the write-up from Apache Sky Threat Intelligence, and I recommend everybody reads it because it's got a ton of detail about exactly how the malware works, examples of code from the malware. If you're a malware researcher, I think that would be really interesting to review so you can learn more about it. But basically, you could see it's standard malware. So I took that and I said, hey, can we find additional samples? And VirusTotal is actually a great place to look for malware, relationships between malware based on the name of the malware or specific functionality within it. And quickly, within a few minutes, I found hundreds of samples out there, but with different targeting information. So not just targeting this Kashmir region, but targeting other items of interest within that part of the world and other similar parts, rethemed and reskinned versions of the same thing.
So I think this is another thing that we have to be more cautious about, that mobile malware hasn't been so big, but it's starting to get bigger.
For me personally, we always know about, we've been talking about mobility malware for quite some time. So it's quite interesting to see how this has evolved over the past few years, how APT groups are starting to adopt it. It does seem, though, they're still tricking people, like with some of these off-market apps. They're really tricking people to install them instead of it being in like the official Play Store. Because it does seem like the Play Stores do a better job of weeding out the negative types of apps.
Well, your mileage does vary for that. Like just recently, Google had to pull 25 applications off the Play Store, the official Play Store, because they contain spyware. So they, are constantly fighting that fight, right? Trying to make sure that nothing gets past the scrubbers. So it's always something that's evolving, right? Even things you get from the legitimate Play Store, you've got to, look at something, that's somewhat cautiously. So it's really, we're getting to the point now where you're starting to see more solutions come to market for anti-malware type solutions for mobile devices, like you would see on a PC or something like that.
Actually, as I was getting ready to come today and I was looking at and reading some more articles, there was, Mike, maybe you and I were both looking at the same article about how Google is trying to get a little more aggressive, and they've actually taken down some actually good applications in their kind of trying to be better about getting rid of the malware that's in the Play Store.
Yep, I imagine there must be hundreds of thousands of apps there now. I know there's kids are downloading whatever looks the most interesting, the most colorful thing, and I think this is where adversaries can actually sneak in malware on the, for example, if you're like a security researcher, and you're a parent of like a 10-year-old who's downloading stuff, that's where you have to be afraid of, because most likely your mobile malware is going to come from your kids, infect your local network, and then you're in trouble.
There you go.
On your mobile phone, there's so much private information. You have to be very mindful of what you're putting there. Don't put apps that you don't really need, because even if they come from the Play Store, they could still have a component that's unwanted.